today, is a very historical action kind of taking place here in Lancaster. And just to kind of give you some grounding, the Lancaster Healthcare Rights Committee with People First PA have grown really close to the folks within the National Union of the Homeless. They're like an extended family, so it's family, not necessarily just people working together, right? And they have really had our back at times, like Anthony Prince and them, y'all came and you kind of got us grounded on the work y'all were doing in California. And we left that presentation that day, and I think it was back in March, excited to want to start and find the leaders to establish the Lancaster Homeless Union. So it's something that we've been trying to figure out for the last couple months. The members of the National Union of the Homeless came in here to Lancaster and had our backs and marched with us when we did our Medicaid march onto Penn Medicine, Lancaster General Hospital. So when we recently discovered the death of Mama Desierie Quintero, we started talking about maybe wanting to hold a vigil or something in solidarity. And then when we met with these folks Wednesday night, that decision was confirmed, and that it was then birthed that not only would we honor her, but we'd honor her in such a special way that we would use tonight to affirm and establish officially the Lancaster County Homeless Union to the National Union of the Homeless. So yay! And then Kristin's gonna share the back story and kind of what happened with Desierie. So, yeah, Kristin, really nice to meet you.
Hi, I am extremely honored to be here. I was here when we had the rally for the healthcare march. When was it? Was that
September
21st? And we talked about doing this. So the fast turnaround is absolutely amazing. And Pennsylvania doesn't play around. And I've been organizing in Pennsylvania, even though I live in Jersey, but we don't really tell anybody that. So I've been organizing in Pennsylvania for about 20 years. And this is an honor to be here. I'm very humbled to be here. I'm part of the National Union of the Homeless Committee to reestablish the National Union of the Homeless. And we started in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s around the displacement of workers across the country. So many families were changing the face of homelessness in the United States, right? So that was a time where union workers with jobs for generations were overnight displaced, right? They would go to work, places like Kensington, all over the state. They would go to work one day, they would get up the next day, and their jobs were gone. So the face was changing across the country. These were families, entire families put out. And the people that were organizing were union workers. These were the working class of the United States coming together and saying, I did everything right. There's something wrong here. And they organized in 25 cities and over 35,000 members. And these weren't members doing for us. These weren't members speaking for us. These were the poor organizing the poor. These were the homeless coming together and saying, something's wrong in this system, and we're going to fight back, we're going to make change. Unfortunately, what happened through the organizing was some co-opting and some chemical warfare, and the Homeless Union did come to demise in the middle of the 90s, but other organizations have grown, and that's a legacy of put people first. Many of the leaders that are building around the country came out of that National Union of the Homeless. My mother organized with the National Union of the Homeless. I was a youth around that time, and it changed my life. So to be part of this reconstitution of the National Union of the Homeless is a dichotomy, right? It's a dialectic, right? Two things happening at the same time, dialectic, right? It's exciting. People are standing up and saying, we're not going to take this anymore. But the conditions that we built the National Homeless Union around in the 80s are worse. More people are dying from preventable diseases. More people are going to bed on the streets of this country every night when we have more houses than people who need them. More people are dying from hunger when we throw away more food than we need. And these are the conditions that we're saying, no more. Human rights are not up for debate in the richest country in the world. So that's what we're coming together for. And the Homeless Union has always come out against the most visible poverty in this country that they want to hide and say we can't have the most visible poverty in the country organized. We We can't have them come together and say, I am a human, I was a worker, I am a worker. Many of the people on the streets work 3-4 shitty jobs and tell the truth about poverty in this country. So they're breaking up encampments across the country. A systemic attack on the homeless encampments across the country. And this is what happened in California. California has some of the largest, oldest encampments in this country. Some of the systemic situations that we're talking about, California saw across the state quickly. So these encampments have hundreds of people and they've been in place for 10, 15 years. And Ross Camp was one of those camps. It had over 100 people living in community, taking care of each other, cooking together, raising their kids together, making sure that mothers, fathers, families didn't lose their children. Coming together, taking care, health care, right? Taking care of each other. I don't feel good. Sharing medicine, which we've been doing forever. You know, sharing meals, sharing food stamps. They broke it apart. They've been doing this across the state. When they broke apart Ross Camp, they went to the city council over and over again and kept saying, well, this is why we have to break it up. That's why health conditions, you know, all these different things are going on in the camp, and they addressed all the issues, and they still broke it down. Leveled it. Everyone lost everything that they had for 10 years. And Mom and Dad, can I pull this? So this came out of this. The city lied, and she died. Okay, thank you. Because they kept saying there were reasons that they were leveling this camp. And they lied about it. They were leveling it because developers wanted the land. Let's be really clear about this. The developers wanted the land because they wanted to make money. So they moved to another unestablished